Hello students. So today we are going to start chapter 3, that is human reproduction, and first of all we are going to learn male reproductive system in part 1. So as you all know that the humans, they are unisexual and viviparous. Unisexual means both the sexes, male and female, they are separate, and viviparous means they give birth to young ones. So the reproductive organs of both male and female, they include external genitalia like penis in case of males and vulva in case of females. So along with number of internal organs like gametes producing gonads like testicles in case of males and ovaries in case of females. So coming to male reproductive part first. So the male reproductive region is located in the pelvic region. So the organs of male reproductive system, they include testes, accessory ducts, accessory glands, and external genitalia. So let's take a look at male reproductive part. So male reproductive part, it consists of, or it includes testes, then accessory ducts, these ducts, and then accessory glands, these glands, accessory glands, and external genitalia. So all of these organs, they work together to produce sperm cells, male gametes, and other components of semen. So the penis and urethra, this part, penis and urethra, they are part of reproductive and urinary systems. Means both systems, these are the organs of both systems, reproductive as well as urinary systems. Whereas scrotum, seminal vesicles, vas deferens, and testes and prostate glands, they constitute all the remaining reproductive system. So the testes, they are covered by a sac-like structure known as scrotum. This part, this sac-like structure, this is scrotum. So it lies between penis and anus. So it lies between penis and anus. So the testes, they need to be at a temperature of 2 to 5 degrees lower than that of body temperature. That is why they are in a separate sac-like structure, that is scrotum. So because of remaining outside of main body, the temperature of these testes, that is, it is lower than normal body by 2 to 5 degrees Celsius. So these testes, they are surrounded by a tough connective tissue known as tunica albuginea. These part. Let's take a look at this. This testes. So there are 2 testicles. So each testis has 250 compartments known as testicular lobules. These compartments, if we take a look at transverse section of a testis like this and this, so there are 250 compartments in each testicle known as testicular lobules. These are testicular lobules. These are testicular lobules. So each lobule in turn contain 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. These are, it contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubules. These are seminiferous tubules. These are seminiferous tubules. So the lining of each seminiferous tubule is called germinal epithelium. This lining of each seminiferous tubule. If we take a cross section of this seminiferous tubule, so its lining is known as germinal epithelium, and it contains male germ cells known as spermatocytes and Sertoli cells. The male germ cells, these spermatocytes, they undergo meiotic divisions and form mature sperms. It forms mature sperms, and the process is known as spermatogenesis. The formation of sperm cells or mature sperm cells from spermatocytes or spermatogonium by the process of meiosis is known as spermatogenesis. The other are Sertoli cells. These Sertoli cells, they provide nourishment to these developing germ cells, these spermatocytes or these sperm cells. These are sperm cells. So these Sertoli cells, they provide nutrition to these spermatocytes and these sperm cells and germ cells. So the region outside the seminiferous tubules, this region outside the seminiferous tubules, it contains capillaries, these capillaries for blood supply, and it contains nerve fibers, capillary capillaries for blood supply, then nerve fibers, then it also contains a small group of large glandular cells here in this outside seminiferous tubules. So these are known as interstitial cells or Leydig cells. Interstitial cells or Leydig cells. So these Leydig cells outside the seminiferous tubules in this part, they synthesize and secrete testicular hormone androgen, these Leydig cells. So now coming to the structure of testis. So it consists of part known as rete-testis, this one, rete-testis. So then is vasa efferentia, this part, these ducts, vasa efferentia. Then epididymis, and last is vas deferens. So there are four parts: rete-testis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, and vas deferens. So here rete-testis, it is a network of ductules formed by seminiferous tubules. See, these seminiferous tubules, all they combine and form a network known as rete-testis. This structure, it is rete-testis. Then coming to vasa efferentia, these. So these are ciliated ductules. These are ciliated ductules arise from rete-testis and collect sperm. They collect sperms and transfer them to epididymis. So the function of vasa efferentia is to collect sperm from these network of tubules or ductules known as rete-testis and transfer these sperms to this epididymis. Now the epididymis is a long, narrow and highly coiled tubule. This one, it is a long, narrow and highly coiled. See, take a look at this. This is long, narrow and is highly coiled. It is highly coiled tubule. So it is present along the posterior surface of the testis. So this is on the posterior surface of the testis. So it is divided into three parts: this anterior, middle and posterior. So this epididymis, it stores sperms temporarily and provides nourishment to them. This epididymis. So it stores these sperm cells temporarily and provides nourishment to them. Now this epididymis, it leads to vas deferens. This duct, this is known as vas deferens. So this vas deferens, it further ascends to. So let's take a look at this. So now we are coming out here. We are on vas deferens. So from vas deferens, this ascends into abdomen. So now this is the abdominal part. This is inside abdomen. So it ascends into abdomen and curves around the ureter. This curves, it curves around the ureter and loops over the urinary bladder. So this is the urinary bladder and it loops over the urinary bladder. So this is the posterior part of this body. So these seminal vesicles and all the other organs, they are on the posterior side of the human body. So now this vas deferens, it extends backwards and receives the duct from seminal vesicles. So these are the seminal vesicles. So this is ampulla. So here is a mistake. This is ampulla. So it is the posterior part of this vas deferens. So it receives duct from seminal vesicles and finally opens into this urethra. This is penile urethra. So here the vas deferens, it ends in ampulla. It receives duct from seminal vesicle known as ejaculatory duct. This duct, it is known as ejaculatory duct. So the neck of urinary bladder, this is the urinary bladder, this is the neck of urinary bladder. The neck of urinary bladder, ejaculatory duct, and this is prostate gland. Prostate gland opens into the urethra. So they all open into the urethra, or also known as urinogenital canal. So the urethra, it extends through the penis to external opening known as urethral meatus. So this is the opening of urethra, external opening, but it is also known as urinogenital aperture. So the urethra is a common pathway for urine as well as semen. So now coming to accessory glands of the male reproductive system. So the accessory glands, they include pair of seminal vesicles. These are a pair of seminal vesicles and a pair of bulbourethral glands. These are two pea-sized, known as bulbourethral glands, and a prostate gland. So this is a prostate gland. So these glands, they secrete seminal fluid which contains fructose, then prostaglandins. So the prostate gland, it is present at the base of urinary bladder. So this is the base of urinary bladder. Here it present prostate gland. So it is around the base of seminal vesicle, at the base of urinary seminal vesicle. So it opens into urethra by many ducts, this prostate gland. So the prostatic fluids, the fluids secreted by this prostate gland, they contain citrate ions, phosphate ions, as well as calcium ions. So these are for the nourishment of these sperm cells. Then coming to these two pea-sized bulbourethral glands. So these are pea-sized structures lying posterior to prostate gland and at the base of the penis. So these two are at the base of penis. So this is penis, male external genitalia. So at its base, these two pea-sized structures are present, known as bulbourethral gland. So their secretion, it helps in lubrication of the penis. So now coming to last and this external genitalia. So external genitalia of in males is called penis. So this is penis, the external genitalia. So it is a copulatory organ and is covered by a loose skin known as prepuce or foreskin. So it is a connective tissue. It is type of connective tissue and covered by a single layer of cells. So this outer skin or outer layer of this penis is known as prepuce or foreskin. So it is made up of special tissues. The penis, it is made up of special tissues. So this is the TS, transverse section of penis. So it contains, it consists of or made up of special tissues known as corpus cavernosa and corpus spongiosum. So these are the tissues of which this penis is made up of. So that's all for today.